Are you ready to embark on a journey of exploration and unlock the magic of your wonder? There is so much more in the universe than we have been shown. It is time to ask those questions, dissolve those barriers, and embrace your extraordinary life. Here is your fellow explorer in the realm of curiosity and discovery, with almost 20 years of inviting people to embrace the greatness of them, Donnielle Carter.
What if staying up late isn't laziness or bad discipline, but actually a quiet rebellion? Just one more video. Just 10 more minutes. Suddenly it's midnight or 1 a.m. or, if you're me, even later. You're tired and you know it'll make tomorrow harder. And yet somehow you resist going to bed. Anybody else? Yeah. It's a rebellion against a day that didn't feel like it belonged to you. So today we're exploring a fascinating phenomenon called revenge bedtime procrastination. It's an actual term, okay? Why we delay sleep even when we know we need it. Welcome to the Exploration of Wonder. I am your host and fellow explorer, Donnielle Carter, nationally board certified health and wellness coach, intuitive empowerment coach, and your biggest fan. And if you ever have a topic that you would like to know more about, sometimes we go heavy into quantum physics, sometimes we go into psychology, sometimes we go into metaphysics. If you're curious about it, I'm curious about it. And if we are, other people are too. So drop me a line at hello@donnielle.com and let's explore it together. All right, so today we're talking about something I recently, within the past year, learned about. And once again, is called revenge bedtime procrastination. Most of us have experienced, and we didn't even know there was a name for it. They name everything, right? So, revenge bedtime procrastination. It sounds dramatic. Revenge. And sadly, the behavior is quite common. It's when we stay up late, even when we're exhausted, because it feels like it's the only time that belongs to us. Let me say that sentence again. We're going to unpack it throughout this next show. But let me say it again. Really listen. Revenge bedtime procrastination is when we stay up late, even when we're tired, or even when we know we have something we have to do the next morning, because it feels like it's the only time that belongs to us. We try to get me time in then, and our bodies and our lives pay the price. Okay, so this concept originally became widely discussed in China, where people describe the behavior of delaying sleep to reclaim personal time. All right, even when they knew they needed rest. And the word revenge here doesn't mean anger towards somebody else, because really you're just taking revenge on some unseen force and you're paying the price. Basically, it's taking back something we feel we lost during the day. Taking back something we feel we lost during the day. And that could have been time, freedom, control, autonomy, whatever it is. When the day is full, like most of ours are, of obligations, work, responsibilities, expectations, that to-do list, we sometimes feel like our time isn't really our own. Yeah, we're gonna be like, no, I chose to do this. But then we throw away the responsibility of it. And so when nighttime comes, this is where it gets interesting. Instead of resting, we reclaim that time. We reclaim that autonomy. We reclaim that, this is me time. This is when I have time for me. And that's when we scroll, we watch, we read, we think, we finally breathe. Now, inherently, those things aren't bad. Although if you want to talk about the scroll thing, watch my show of Are you an addict and don't know it? Because I go into a lot with that. But we watch things, we read, we think, we breathe. These are not bad things necessarily. But when we do it, when we're exhausted, when we do it at the effect of tomorrow, because that's what the thing is, we're actually making right now, the demand, puts us at, sorry, let me say that in actual proper sentence structure. We ruin tomorrow by the demand of what we think we have lost today. We're taking that back. Okay. And revenge bedtime procrastination often appears when days feel overfull, over-controlled, or emotionally draining. And I'll be vulnerable with this. I learned about this phrase because for the past couple of years, I've been going through a major transition in my life. And I was constantly working. I had to be doing. If I wasn't doing something, I wasn't being productive, and then I wasn't making the changes that I desired. And so what would I do? I'd go to bed about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and I'm like, ugh, I just need some space. I just need some me. I'm gonna play a game. I'm gonna watch a TV show. I'm just gonna do, and then I would start TV shows at 11 and then watch just one more. And then it would literally be like 1 o'clock. And I would be like, I have to go to bed because I teach at 9 a.m. or I have this or whatever. And I was exhausted throughout the day. And then the avalanche would occur because the snowball would keep rolling. I was tired and I would do it again the next day. I was trying to reclaim space for me because I felt if I wasn't doing it during the day, I was taken away from the doing of the change I was trying to create. This is how I discovered this revenge bedtime procrastination. I made that demand. I took away from the next day's possibilities, right? Because we have this thing where we think the day belongs to everyone and everything else, but the nighttime becomes ours. Maybe that's one of the reasons why vampire things are so fascinating, because it's like this nighttime, right? When things are quieter and stiller and we can become more of us. The daytime is loud, busy. But the nighttime, quiet. You can hear yourself, okay? And it's not always about entertainment, but it is often about agency, autonomy. And autonomy is just that feeling of like, I can regulate myself. I can make my own choices. I am in control of my life. Agency, autonomy, okay? It's basically the feeling of choosing something for yourself. The daytime, you choose for other people, other things, even if it's your own business. But nighttime, that's when we've given ourselves permission to have choosing something for ourselves. Even if that choice is staying up later than you think you should. And that's where the revenge part comes in, because it's like, I'm doing this. We're in resistance to something, some unseen force. I don't know who we're rebelling against, but we're rebelling against that unseen force of like, this is my time. Day, I'm done with you. Now this is my time. It's like we try to pop into a little like time bubble and be like in between today and then tomorrow. This is just this little bubble, a couple hours just for me. I need it. How often have you said that to yourself? I need it. Well, what if taking 5 minutes in the morning actually makes you more productive than taking 2 hours at the end of the day? What if it makes you healthier than taking 2 hours at the end of the day? Okay. Here's another interesting thing. It's like the thing we're taking revenge on, which that unseen force, that lack of time or autonomy during the day, ends up costing us something so important. Sleep. I know in modern society we like to say, oh, sleep, whatever. No, sleep. Sleep is where your body recovers. Sleep is where you explore, you dream, your cells refresh, and you start the day again with that recovery that you did during sleep. Are there some days you feel good with less sleep? Absolutely. But if that carries on, it does damage. I was reading this study once recently, where they took 10 people. They took 10 people of average weight, so not too heavy, not too thin, average weight. And at the beginning of the study, they tested them for diabetes markers, right? And then 5 of them, they gave 7 to 9 hours of sleep for 5 days. They're like, just do normal sleep, or, like statistically shown what's good sleep. And then for the other 5, they did 5 hours of sleep or less. So they could sleep anywhere from 1 to 5 hours for 5 nights in a row. At the end of that 5 days, they retested those people who had a lack of sleep. They tested for markers of diabetes. Look at that for a minute. Isn't that scary? After 5 nights of bad sleep, their body had such a stress on it that they tested for markers of diabetes. They didn't have diabetes, but their body was already showing those markers. I mean, they started sleeping again, and those markers went away because their body wasn't under duress, wasn't under stress. Most people don't think that no sleep, what that actually does to your body. They think it just makes you tired. Well, I'm just tired. It's okay. It's not. When you have that lack of sleep, your cells don't get a chance to recover. Your organs don't get a chance to refresh. Your bones, your muscles, your bone marrow doesn't get a chance to recover, recuperate, rebuild. Sleep is where we rebuild. So when you're tired the next day, I'm sorry to scare you, but you're not just tired. You are stressing your body, and that creates illness. So I know serious is about as serious as I get, but I want you guys to hear this. Lack of sleep isn't just tired. It's creating illness. Okay? So this revenge bedtime procrastination isn't just about, oh, well, I got less sleep. It's no big deal. It is. Your body needs it. Like I said, there are some nights you sleep less. It's great. Not a big deal. But for long term, it's not good for your body. Plain and simple. Okay? Because sleep affects emotional regulation. So not just physical. Emotional regulation. Anybody else ever get crabby when they have had little sleep? Me. I'll raise that. All of you raise your hand. I know it. You have. It affects your mood, your energy, your focus, your immune system, and your memory. A lot of people don't really put together sleep with the mind or the brain in the way it works, but it does. It affects your memory as well. So when we repeatedly sacrifice sleep, the next day becomes harder. And ironically, which makes the cycle more likely to continue. Because if the day feels harder, how much more do we go, I deserve this because today was so hard? Oh my gosh. Well, let's get some sleep, my friends. Not right now, finish the show. There's only like 15 minutes left. You can do it. You can do it. So here's the interesting. So it's the hidden emotional layer. There's also an emotional component to revenge bedtime procrastination. Because sometimes we stay up because the day never gave us a moment to pause. Maybe you spent the entire day responding, solving, supporting, working, thinking. And then nighttime arrives and your mind may still be active. How many of us say, well, I had a hard time getting to sleep because I couldn't turn my mind off? This is what I'm talking about. Okay. So when, yep, people in the chat room, yep, exactly, okay? We're always looking for those things to help us sleep better. And sometimes it's just actually going to sleep. I know I say that easily, and don't worry, we're going to go to commercial soon, but when we come back, I have tips. You know I always have tips to actually get to sleep, okay? But at night, your body may finally have a chance to slow down. And here's the thing. So if you spent the day doing all of that, responding, solving, supporting, working, thinking, when nighttime comes and your life slows down, your body slows down, that slowing down feels valuable because it is. It is very valuable. Those moments of still, those moments of pause, the moments of, okay, is very valuable. So we try to stretch the moment a little longer, a little more. And suddenly the clock says 1 a.m. And the cycle begins again. So I'm going to leave it with that. Just kind of look at it. This is valuable time, but how do we get it so it doesn't affect tomorrow and it doesn't affect our body? We'll discuss that when we come back in a little bit, but we're going to take our commercial break. And my friends, you are watching or listening to the Exploration of Wonder with me, your host and fellow explorer. And I do mean fellow explorer. Like I said in the show already, I learned about this topic because I was doing it. So I'm always exploring. My name is Donnielle Carter, and we are on the Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
Ever feel like there's more to life than meets the eye? A sense of wonder just beyond your grasp? Are you ready to create a life that inspires you so much that each day you are excited to wake up and live it? Join Donnielle Carter, a nationally board-certified health and wellness coach, weekly as she explores the universe on the exploration of wonder. Explore everything from harnessing the power of your mindset to connecting with your intuition and harnessing the energetic forces around us. With a blend of humor, warmth, directness, and a dash of cheekiness, Donnielle shares easy-to-use, pragmatic, yet magical techniques you can implement immediately to infuse your life with wonder. Join us as we navigate the fascinating landscapes of the seen and unseen, and together create lives filled with joy, purpose, and boundless possibility.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Exploration of Wonder with your guide, Donnielle. To participate in this program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to hello@donnielle.com. Now back to the exploration.
Welcome back, my friends, to the Exploration of Wonder. I am your host and fellow explorer, Donnielle Carter. Today we're exploring something that is very dear to my heart. Revenge, bedtime, procrastination. Every time I say it, I'm like, ooh, that's a mouthful. And it is. And not in a fun way. It rules our life quite often. But here's the thing. It's a pattern worth noticing, right? Like, we're trying to steal me time. We're trying to put revenge against our day. We're trying to take back the things we think we didn't get from the day, or that the day was stolen away from us, from the demands of other things. Okay, so, but it's a pattern worth noticing, not with judgment. But this is where curiosity becomes powerful. Instead of judging the behavior, you want to ask, what is this pattern trying to show me? Maybe the question isn't, why can't I go to bed earlier? Maybe the question is, where in my day don't I feel like I have space for myself? Let me say that one again since I miffed it. Where in my day Don't I feel like I have space for myself? Revenge bedtime procrastination can sometimes be a signal, that pattern, that your waking hours need more balance. Boom, there it is. Okay? Revenge bedtime procrastination can sometimes be, and more often than not, the signal or pattern that your waking hours needs more balance. And I'm not talking about standing on one foot balance, but you need more agency, more breathing room, more time for you in your day. Okay? Because the cost of the cycle is that it feels good in the moment. You played that game, you watched that show, it feels like freedom, but the next day feels harder, and that's the pattern. Less sleep means lower patience, reduced focus, more emotional reactivity, lower energy. Fun things that make the day better. Just kidding. They really don't, right? Which makes the next day feel even more demanding. And when the day feels more demanding, the nighttime feels even more tempting to stay up later and longer. And the cycle continues. So here's some quick ways to shift the pattern. It's not by forcing yourself, not by judging yourself, but by changing the relationship with the pattern. When you ask questions like, what do I feel like I'm missing during the day that I have to steal it away at night? You'll begin to notice. So here's some quick tips. Tip number 1, create small moments of personal time during the day. Sometimes delayed bedtime procrastination is simply delayed autonomy, which I've said that word a lot. And autonomy is just the ability to govern yourself, make your own free and informed decisions, and act independently without being controlled by others or external forces. Sounds like a to-do list, doesn't it? Or a boss, even if you're your own boss like me. So it's a delayed autonomy. So if your day includes small moments that belong to you, 5 minutes of a walk, 5 minutes of quiet, a moment to breathe, the urge to reclaim the night softens. If you feel like you were in your day, you have more of you in the day. You don't need to demand more of you at night because you're already there. Okay, so create small moments of personal time during the day. The next one, add a transition ritual before bed. Instead of moving from constant stimulation directly into sleep, anybody else ever do that? It's like, go, 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 right? Just out like a robot. We're not robots. We don't have a switch. So instead, create a simple signal for you and your body that the day is ending. I always find that if somebody in the chat room said, nope, can't do that. Well, I do it shockingly well. But I am not a robot, I swear. I'm a real person. I'm not just somebody in a video screen. Sorry, that was a joke in my head. Anyways, what I find interesting is, anybody ever raised children, know children, or seen children in a movie? Yeah, all of us. And they show them like, okay, guys, kids, it's time to go to bed. Let's do it. Take a bath, brush your teeth, read a book. What is that? That's a nighttime ritual. You are training children and training their bodies that it's time to end the day, wind down, and go to sleep. Where does it say that we have to stop doing that as an adult? Why is that nighttime ritual gone as an adult? And in that gone as an adult, it's more than just, well, I brush my teeth and wash my face. That's just one step. It really should be more than that. What is your transition nighttime ritual? Don't have one? Great, let's create one. You could dim the lights, you could do some stretching, read a few pages of the book, slow breathing, meditation, journaling. Some people like meditation. It's interesting, lately I've been doing something called bilateral stimulation. I know it has the word stimulation in there, and I thought it would annoy the crap out of me, but it really helps reset my nervous system. So I've been doing just like 10 minutes of that. And it's really helped part of that nighttime ritual of like, Nice. Okay. Relax. Reset the nervous system. And then I don't feel that need anymore for staying up late, that revenge bedtime procrastination, because I'm calm. I'm present. Because we often use that time at the end also to be present in our lives or escape from our lives, really. Okay? So a nighttime ritual helps your nervous system move from activity to rest. What would be fun for you? What would be fun for you to help bridge that daytime activity to nighttime? And remember how I said earlier, like a lot of people I hear, well, I just can't turn my brain off at night. This helps with that. Okay? Please, if you ever said, well, I can't turn off my brain at night. I lay down and just keep thinking. Create a bedtime ritual. At least 20 minutes long, if not longer. 20 to 30 minutes is, from what I've read, is ideal. Allow your brain, your body, your universe to accept and go into that slow time. Oh, we're slowing down. Okay. Because if you think about it, just look at the energy now as I'm talking about it. You can feel like daytime activity, nighttime ritual. Then you actually go to sleep in a more relaxed state instead of trying to sleep in an agitated state, which keeps your brain active and your mind active, okay? And then another one is ask a different question at night. Instead of, why can't I go to bed? Go, what do I feel like I didn't get today? Okay. Why can't I go to bed puts you in a loop. What do I feel like I didn't get today gives you awareness. Okay. Often the answer is quiet, freedom, rest, personal time. And sometimes recognizing the need is the beginning of meeting it in healthier ways, so you can actually incorporate it into your day. Okay. And tip number 4, which I know nobody else is going to do, lower the pressure to be perfect. I know, Donnielle, but I have to be perfect. No, you don't. There is no such thing as perfect. Maybe I should do a show on that, shattering the lie of perfect, because it is a lie. There is no perfect. Okay. So instead of perfection, aim for awareness and gradual shifts. Even going to bed 15 minutes earlier can change the rhythm of your sleep over time. 15 minutes can help you. So what if revenge, bedtime, and procrastination isn't a failure of discipline? Isn't a frustration? What if it's just simply information? Information that somewhere in your life you might be craving more space, more autonomy, and more choice. And when we notice the signal instead of fighting it, we can begin adjusting the system and then for adjusting the signal. So if you notice tonight yourself reaching for the phone or telling yourself just one more episode, pause for a moment. Not to judge. Just ask a curious question. What am I actually needing right now that I'm trying to fill with the scrolling, with the one more episode, whatever it is that you're using to rebel against going to bed? Rest, quiet, freedom, me. Well, not Donnielle, but you know. And how might I give it to myself earlier in the day? Because when our days include space for ourselves, the night no longer has to carry the entire burden of our freedom. Okay, so when the day belongs to us, we don't have to steal it at night. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me today and learning about revenge, bedtime procrastination. And you know what? Next week, I think I am going to do what is perfect, shattering the lie of perfect, or whatever else I naming it. So tune in next week. I think it'll be interesting. All right, my friends, until we play again, have a fun week, a magical week. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, be present in your life, and you'll create everything you desire. I'll see you next week, my friends. Have a great, fun, flowy, magical week. I'll talk to you then. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you for exploring with us today. Donnielle returns Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, 1 p.m. Pacific. Until then, be curious, be wonder, and explore the magical universe around you.